18 already in this window. Are we expecting one more today? Are you making any progress?
There's a game Saturday, by the way. I thought we were talking about that. Sorry about my throat, so apologies. Good timing as well. First game back in the Premier League, and I can't speak, so the players will be delighted about that. Yeah, we're trying to add a central midfield player to the group, and if I do, I'll be delighted with what we've done so far in terms of what I was given at the back end of the season, and how we've gone about it, the structure, the age, the ambition and desire of the players that we've brought in, whether they are the younger ones or even there's an older one chucked in there as well.
You say you're looking to bring a midfielder in. How close is that?
I should imagine, like every manager up and down the country, we are close, but things change pretty quickly. So we're just banging away and just seeing if we can do something before 5 o'clock. It is just amazing how it comes down to these last couple of days as well, that we're still working at it, which I don't know, I shake my head at times, but we're part of that as well. So we're part of the process. We've managed to do quite a lot of our work pretty early, which we're delighted with. But hopefully come 5 o'clock, the squad will be complete and ready to rock and roll.
Could there be players moved out today as well, some of the fringe players? Yeah,
there's a couple. Mark Duffy, there's a couple of bits of interest in Mark and Leon as well. Obviously both established championship players now, so I wouldn't be surprised if both of those went by the close of play. And there's a couple of the other players that we feel will go, maybe League One and League Two, when that window shuts.
You're so close now to the start of the new season. Can you sum up your emotions? Will this be the proudest moment of your career leading Sheffield United out in the Premier League?
Well, I've always said every time I lead the club out, whether it was the first game or whether it would be my last, it's a really proud moment. So I'm focused on the game. I really am. I'm excited. Of course, I'll be proud to represent and lead the club in the first game back in the Premier League, but I'm after that game. We're all after the game. That's all we're looking at. We're looking at the game. You know, obviously there's going to be a lot of emotion around the fixture, but we're professionals. We've got to get on with trying to get a result at a very difficult place to go and get a result, and a team and a manager I've got a lot of admiration for.
How important as a newly promoted side is it to get off to a good start?
I think everybody wants to get off to a good start, so I'm not the only one. Whether you're a newly promoted side, whether you're the champions of the Premier League, we're all after winning the first game of the season and then try and win the second and try and win the first. So we want to get points on the board early, and we want to get points on the board right the way through the season, and that'll obviously dictate our end position.
Your favourites to go down with the bookmakers, does that fire you up? Can you be the surprise package
I'm fine with that, absolute no problem, and so are my players, and it's something we have to embrace. Absolute no issue about it. But where would you rather be? Playing last week in the Championship or playing in the best league in the world? So whatever people talk about as its opinions, and I get that, it's not a problem. We've just got to stay strong and believe in what we're doing is the right way. And as we said last year, believing what we're doing is the right way, and if the door opens, we have an opportunity of gaining promotion, we'll try and take it, which we did, regardless of what other opinions were about other teams and they were the best teams or they didn't perform or they should have gone up. Best two teams in the division went up and the third best went up through the playoffs. So, you know, bookies, favourites, stats wise, you know, 2 out of the 3 last year got relegated. So yeah, we understand we're up against it. We understand the journey that we've been on, how quick we've been on that journey, and what other powerful clubs are in the division. So we understand that, but we'll not change the way we are as a group. Stick together, work hard for each other, and we're determined not to make the numbers up.
So, how imperative is it that you get this midfielder over the line between now and the bell at 5?
Sorry, I didn't answer your calls last night, by the way.
It's all right. So, fair enough. You screen like an Olympic drug tester, by the way.
So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we'll go with the group that we've got. So I still think, as I said, there's a bit of work to be done, and it's going to be quite an exciting last few hours. But as I said to Tim, it just always seems to be the case. Always seems everybody leaves it last minute, and we're after players. And I think obviously one deal sparks a lot of deals. So we're waiting for other things to happen, and if they do, then we'll be delighted, because we've got our eyes on some targets that are going to make us better. And if we don't, we'll just go with the group that we've got in place now. What type of midfielder are you after? And the reason why I ask is the devil in the detail is you've got all sorts of different types that can do different things. So what is missing or needs improving with this? I think transfer? At the top of the pitch, we're always looking for combinations and different types of players. Obviously, from our point of view, as forwards, basically we want them to score goals. But we've got a great mix, we feel, in youth and experience. Players that can link it, players that can stretch it, a bit of physical in there. So we're quite happy. It does me nothing, if I'm honest, when you talk about midfield players, defensive midfield players. I just want a really good midfield player. And in my day, a really good midfield player used to be able to get about the pitch, used to be able to pass it, edit, tackle, organise. So, if he plays in a 3, if he plays in a 2, if he plays sitting or on one, just be a really good midfield player, and hopefully we can make that happen. And would this, just on this topic specifically, finally, would this signing be a permanent transfer or a loan? No, it'd be a loan. Right. Yeah, we always structured it that we'd have 2 loans in the group, and obviously one's taken up by Dean, so that'll be a loan signing. You mentioned the interest in Duffy and Clark. There are a couple of other players, Wright and Hennigan too, as well, that were available. Is there anything on those players potentially leaving today? Yeah, there's been interest, but no disrespect to those 2 players. They've not played a lot of Championship football, and obviously the window's shutting today from Championship upwards. I'll be surprised if they go today. So we have the ability, but they'll move on, because they've obviously Ben played a lot of football last year at Blackpool, so he's got different offers that he needs to sort out themselves. And Jake's obviously an experienced player, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes as well. I realise I'm repeating here, but you were looking at the goalkeeper Verrips, weren't you, for a bit, and he's seen a bit of football. I mean, is that plate still spinning? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've. We're in negotiation, so there is a possibility that gets sorted before 5 o'clock as well, and that gives us, if that happens, that gives us 3 really good goalkeepers and in a really important position. It's such an important time. Just to roll forward, would you consider the free agency market if you needed anything after 5 today? Yeah, I don't think there's many players knocking about really in that, but if we left a space open in the 25-man squad to fill that, then possibly that might be an option. But as I said, we're just juggling a few balls at the moment. As you said, spinning a few plates. So that 25-man squad has got to go in tomorrow. And if we go with 24, it gives us an opportunity to do that. Health and fitness-wise, not yourself, how is everybody ahead of the big kick-off then? Everybody's fully fit and raring to go. There's a couple that need a little bit more football, but there's no injury issues, no problems, and I think if you ask all managers, they talk about pre-season and what you want to get out of it, and from a physical point of view and tactical and technical, integrating players into the squad. But I think the biggest thing that they want to happen is come the first day of the season, you've got a full squad to pick from, and we will have a full squad to pick from. And that first day is almost upon us. So how much time have you perhaps had to reflect over the summer on what has happened then in such a short space of time? I know we've mentioned to you previously about the very start of your career out at Bradway to Bournemouth and the Premier League this weekend. Not much. Only you guys who want to talk about it, which I'm fine to talk about it, but I haven't. I'm looking at the next hurdle to get over. I'm looking at the next game. And like we said, we talk about pride, of course, for the game on Saturday, but we want to go and win the game. We're in football to win games of football. We're professional to get to this stage, whether you're a player, a coach or a manager, you've got to have a mentality that, you don't pat yourself on the back and look at what you've done. You look forward to that next challenge, and my sole focus and the staff and the players is going and getting a result at Bournemouth. We had a fantastic last 3 years, and as I said, it's only you guys have really talked about it. I've not really wanted to talk about it, but I would, and I did. But now, as always, I've just looked at that Bournemouth fixture and let's get ourselves off and running and see if we can get a result.
And how important then is it that within the squad there is a DNA of players who will feel they have something to prove, whether they're making their Premier League debuts on Saturday, have been there and are trying to make it and re-establish it themselves again, or are 36 and still feel as though they want to prove it at that level?
We're at a different level to every Premier League club. We can't go and buy, somebody from Everton, or even if we did, we can't afford the wages. So we're at a different level. And you look at every player that's playing in the Premier League, or not every player. A lot of players started off in the Championship. They've started somewhere. Jamie Vardy started at Stockbridge. Went to Fleetwood, went to Halifax, went to Fleetwood, went to Leicester in the Championship. Top striker. Phil Jagielka started off with us. Harry Maguire, world's most expensive centre-half, started off in League One with Sheffield United. So they've all got to start somewhere. That's our market. I'm quite happy in buying players from the Championship. We'll try and do our best with them and try and make them better players. And have they got the desire and ambition added with the quality to go and make a name for themselves? Well, that's over to them now, really, and we'll give them as much help as we possibly can. And
just finally then, Bournemouth as a first opposition, they are a club and a team that have done just that, haven't they? They've got a lot of players they've had since 2012, 2014, since their rise.
Yeah, I've talked about it quite a number of times. When we first went in the Championship, when we met up with them at Marbella Training Centre. So, yeah, I mean, it's great, but they've kept moving forward, and that's what I want us to do, and I think we have done. Year after year, can we keep moving forward? Can we keep improving? And they have done. Their model's really good in terms of recruitment, and their coaches and teachers. He's a fantastic manager, but their coaches, their staff, make their players better and make them a unit, and have done fantastically well over the years, and we'll carry on that way, I'm sure.
Lovely, thank you.
How much of a challenge is this for yourself and Alan Neil?
Well, it's a challenge for everybody. I've talked to all the staff. We've all got to up our game. As talked about, it's an unforgiving division. But we've deserved the right to work there, and we're going to try and do our best. But we've all had to up our game. Players, coaching staff, manager, sports science, video analysis, every aspect of a football club. What I can control, we've talked about that to make us better and to keep moving forward. We're far from knowing it all, and we have to keep improving. And obviously the challenges are a lot bigger this year. From a tactical point of view, you're talking elite managers of the world. Not just Championship now, and players and grounds and everything that's connected to the Premier League. So we've all got to up our game, and we understand that and are looking forward to it.
Have you picked the brains of some of those managers? Have you spoken to any of them about what it's going to be like? To Eddie Howe about that transition?
Yeah, I mean I've talked to a couple, but they've told me to go and enjoy it and embrace it because it's brilliant. I spoke to a couple. Tony Pulis, I got a message off last night. Got a message off Paul Lambert. Go and enjoy it. It's brilliant, and don't fear it. And I think Tan. We're not the type of people to fear any challenge, and how difficult it is. We understand that. We understand what we're going into, but I think they're bang on with their assumption. And from our point of view, if we want to establish ourselves in the division, and if myself and the staff want to establish ourselves in the division, then we've got to show that we're good enough. We understand it's going to be tough, and the challenges are added. They're enormous challenges, but as I said all along, this is where we want to be, so we have to get on with it and enjoy it.
And I know you've talked to us listening to the podcast you did the other night with Steve Crossman, like, of the players not taking pictures of themselves at Anfield and all that. Has there been a little moment in this build-up where you've had to pinch yourself a little bit of this is for real now?
Yeah, I think a couple of bits and pieces at home to you. You know, obviously the media day today. You know, maybe a couple of years ago it was Shieldsy and maybe Mike and Sutty and a couple Radio Sheffield. So that's part of it, which is great, and the exposure that the club gets is fabulous, and for the city as well. But as, you know, I keep saying we enjoy the moment and in the bubble that we have been, but we're not one to keep looking back or whatever. We're proud of what we've done, but where's that next challenge? And there's some great challenges coming up, and really looking forward to it. Cheers, Tom.